Puzzle games exist a dime a dozen on Steam and on any other platform. Finding one that is actually challenging and fun and offering enough variety is kind of difficult. And today we're going to take a look at Tumblestone, a game from the studio the Quantum Astrophysicist Guild. Fantastic name, by the way. A game I recently received from the humble monthly bundle from March. And considering its price tag, which is the first thing I've got to mention, of 23 euros, you gotta wonder how much it brings to the table, because at that price tag it definitely has to bring quite a lot to the table. So today we're gonna take, as I said, a look at this game and see if it offers enough to justify the price. The main focus of this game is the campaign mode, or the story mode, whatever you want to call it. In this mode you have multiple worlds that you traverse through, and each world consists of 30 levels. So far I've reached the second level, the second world, and I think I am roughly at like 12.5%. So what, that makes like 6, 7, 8 worlds, something like that in total. And with 30 levels in each world, that is definitely enough to keep you going for quite a while. So that's a big plus when it comes to content. Now obviously though, these levels need to be challenging enough in and of themselves and offer, at least to me personally, enough variety to justify actually playing through all of them. To argue about that, well, let's take a look at 2.18 here. This is how your basic match will look like. It's a match 3 game in which you have up to, I think, well, so far it's been 5 colors of different tumblestones, and in the top row you can see the numbers 1, 2, 3, meaning you have to match 3 tumblestones of the same color, and when you do so, well, those 3 disappear and you can work on the next couple of stones. That basically means you have to reverse engineer the whole puzzle here to figure out how it basically started off. And this is actually a very challenging game, at least someone like me who generally doesn't play these types of games. Okay, the game already tells me that I failed, that's beautiful, which is a very fantastic start. The game definitely has got you thinking, especially because of the different, well, problems that throws at you. So far, as I said, this is the second world, and while the first couple of levels in, well, both worlds were very simple, they introduce different types of challenges as you go throughout the world. In this one, for example, you have these 2 dark blackish grayish blocks that disappear at every other block you, well, basically move away. Say I move this one away, now I can try to get through one of the stones that are behind the black ones that are now whited out. And that actually has to, well, get you thinking quite a lot, which, I mean, is a good thing. That's why you play puzzle games for, right? And this one actually made me go wrong. So the question is then, are these difficulties well enough to actually make you want to play and make you continue throughout the game? To which I have to say, yes, definitely. However, as someone who generally doesn't play these types of games for a variety of reasons, mainly because, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of sitting in my PC and having to play a very slowish game. I kind of have these... I'd rather play like a fast type action game. But that obviously is not something that I can put the game at blame for. However, that doesn't mean the game is flawless. One big problem I personally find is that while it does have a lot of levels going for it with different challenges in it, unfortunately the... how do I put it? The theme of the challenge stays the same for too long. Basically, the map or this world started with these 2 types of blocks here, or this type of block, very early on. And the only difference so far I've had in the 20 level or so that I did is that they just put a second type of block, or no, a second fade in, fade out block into it. Did I fuck up again? I think I have. Yeah, there's no way for me to salvage this, so let's retry. And yeah, the fact that for 20 levels I've basically done the same thing doesn't really make me want to continue playing. as dumb as it sounds. Let's see. Let's take this one away, and then this one maybe. No, I can't continue if I do that. I have to take this one away. And now I can't continue either. Okay. So while this game is very challenging in a good way, definitely in a good way, personally I would have enjoyed it way more if the challenge that you are faced against is switched out more often. As far as I'm concerned, this game like this doesn't need, I don't know, 200 levels maybe? I don't know how many it has. If they would have gone for half of those and change up, just spice up the, not just the difficulty, but the different obstacles, because I'm sure as I go along there will be different types of objectives that I have to pass through. I'm sure there are different kind of nice, neat mechanics that you have to play through. However, I doubt that I'm ever gonna see all of them, just because, like I said, it's just not my type of game, and it doesn't offer me enough variety to actually make me want to continue playing for extended amounts of times. Okay, this should at least get me through this part, and now, what do I do now? I think this one. No, it's actually impossible for me to get the 3 yellow ones there. That was actually an error. Yeah, no, I can't get these last 3 yellow ones, okay. But you see, that is actually what is kind of challenging about the game. You see, you make a mistake like this. For instance, now I know that I can't let these 3 yellow pieces at the top stay at the last pieces, which is actually something I should have come up with a little bit earlier. And now you can adapt to that problem. You can think about how you can fix that, which is very well done in this game. Let's give it one more try here, and if not, then I'll just probably head over to different types, because the game, while the story mode is long as hell, it's not all of it. There is still more to this game, and I would do it a disservice if I would not show that to you. This, okay. Okay, this could actually, nope. Or not, never mind. No, obviously I cannot put 3 yellow pieces. You can't let 3 of the same color be behind the switchy blockies. Okay, let's try it one more time, then we'll switch it up a little bit more. But I think I was kind of on the right track here. You and you. See, now I have put 5 of those. No, that's already a mistake. That is already a mistake. Nope, okay, doesn't work. However, the game at some points, so far I've seen 1 per world, they give you items which allow you to skip a level. Wait, no. Let me continue. And actually we can do that, so I can show you of something else. Let's do skip puzzle. You use these kind of tokens, you see I also skip 2-9. And then you have these types of missions, which are... Damn, they are really tough. They are really tough. Because as you can see in the bottom, it is not one puzzle that you have to do. It is in fact 4 puzzles you have to do. And you have to do all of them in a row. And you're on a time limit, and if you fail any of them, you go back to square one and have to redo all of them again. As you hopefully will believe me, this is difficult on its own, and it is especially difficult if you try to put commentary over them, which is why this is never going to work while talking. You can also see that while the other puzzles are static, these ones are dynamic. So this is something completely different that I did last time, which also means you can't just, well, basically button mash or brute force your way through these challenges, which is, again, a very nice touch to give this game a decent amount of challenge. Like I said, it is a really challenging game. There was a mistake. And yeah, there's no way I'm gonna finish these, especially not while talking. There's just no way that that's going to work. Let's give it one more try. There was already an error. There was also an error. Let's see, this is this. You, and you, maybe? Yeah. The game does help you, though. Nope, that was also an error. In that it doesn't allow you to do a move that would instantly screw up your turn. For instance, in here I can see that... Wait, nope, not yet. I need to get to a point where I can use a block that would not allow me to clear out, basically. Which would be... green? Yeah, green. It does not allow me to do a green turn here. In fact, it actually tells me to do a purple turn. Still doesn't help me though, because now I'm screwed. So now it did allow me to make a green turn because I have had no more turns to do anyway. So yeah, that is the main story mode. That is the main story mode. It is a lot of stuff you can do in this game. It's probably, I don't know, I've played for, I think, like 90 minutes, a little bit more, and I've only gotten to world 2, level 20. So there is a lot of content only when it comes to the story mode, and there is more. There is a multiplayer game, which I'm sure we won't even find a match. Actually, the couple of times I did try it, I never found somebody. Maybe I'm not even doing it correctly. But as far as I can tell, nobody really plays this. I don't know. Maybe people do and I'm just not here often enough. I have no idea. Oh, okay, that probably allows me to make it a little bit more difficult on myself. But yeah, that is something you could potentially do. Unfortunately, we won't. However, even if the story mode is done, you have quests that you can do. Some of which are just basic things like complete story world. Some of which are like raise the glass and marathon, clear a box and infinite puzzle, are sophisticated enough to be their own thing, and they take part in the arcade missions. So let's help them and do all of these. Marathon, for instance, quite simple. Get past this glass barrier over here. This one is a little bit more... Well, first of all, it's obviously more hectic, as you can see, because the glass wall just falls down on us. And it is not as brutal as the other mode, because, in fact, you are here allowed to do mistakes. As you can see, here I did a mistake. However, that obviously doesn't come without a... There we go. That does not come without any punishment. In fact, the glass panel goes a little bit deeper or lower, and you have to, well, just destroy more blocks. However, that is the type of mode that I personally enjoy the most, and it kind of reminds me of playing something like Tetris. I mean, obviously the game mechanic itself is completely different. What did I just do? No, that was not good. Oh yeah, that is a multi-color block. Sure, why not? Yeah, while it's obviously not the same thing as Tetris, it does offer you the same kind of... I gotta think fast, I gotta think fast, I gotta think well. And it is just more... For lack of a better word, I'm gonna call it action-oriented, which, as I said initially, is something that I personally like more in my games, which is why this is more of the type of mode that I can find myself playing in a little bit of downtime. Let's complete it, okay. And the game mode ends, well, you might imagine. Actually, I don't even know. I mean, it definitely ends when you... when the blocks reach you. But I don't know if they actually end if you clean out all the blocks at the top. I don't know if that's possible, actually, or if it just puts you... or if it just gives you more and more blocks as you go on. That was a mistake. Yeah, that is... basically, this is... I have already forgotten what this mode is called, but it is A mode. We can also see a different type of block that I just removed. That is one of the earlier challenges I had to deal with. And... well, just to show you the different kind of obstacles the game will throw at you. You can see this block here over on the left side. That is basically a block you can touch. It doesn't go away by like switching something on and off, but it does disappear if you clear out everything within that row. As you can see, that row is now cleared, and now I can continue onwards. So yeah, that is basically this mode. Let's just do a couple of arrows, so that this thing falls down on us. Quest. I have no idea what the level does, sure. I don't know what it does. No, I didn't mean to do it again. And then we have Heartbeat, which I actually don't even know. Yeah, okay. Actually, I gotta correct myself. This is more of a Tetris-like system. The one I played earlier actually doesn't move on its own. This one does. So here you are actively trying to outrace the screen. And for being extra fast, like I was right there, you get a bonus of like these multicolor blocks, which allow you, well, they're basically every color you can think of. That was a mistake. That looks like a mistake again. Oh lord. Okay, these blocks right now are terrible. Okay, that was a terrible run. Well, that is your typical Tetris type of mode. So yeah, now that we saw that, let's go for infinite puzzles. This one I actually... My mind is going blank right now. I forgot what it is. Clear all blocks in infinite puzzle. I think, yeah, if I can, yeah, if I remember correctly, no. I forgot how it works. I definitely forgot how it works. I guess we'll have to figure it out together now. Let's try it again. I think this game basically, yeah, right, now I think I got it. It basically wants you to clear out as many puzzles as you can in one go, and the second you make a mistake, that's the end of your run. So it is kind of like multiple story missions in one go. You can put some modifiers on it, which I guess, well, can spice things up a little bit. Let's try, oh, come on, let's try to at least get one puzzle done. To be fair, if you want to actually like win in this game, you have to think a little bit more about the game and not do what I do, which is just button mash. Hey, personal best we did. Okay, what do you want me to do now? How does that work? I am kind of confused how this one actually works. There must be something else to it. What? Because as you go along, you actually pull more blocks from the top. But I'm not quite sure at what interval you do that. Okay, I am too stupid to figure this out. As you can see, this is not my type of game. It definitely isn't. And personally, it is definitely not something I would play on my PC for a lot of time. There are different things to play on my PC. It is a better fitting mobile game, and I think it actually does have a mobile version, which is definitely where I would... I don't know how to beat this mode. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Which is where I personally would find this game better fitting. Now, the question that I initially asked, is this game actually worth the amount of money that it asks you for? Obviously, that is a completely objective decision, whether or not it's worth 23 bucks to you. Personally, I gotta say, it isn't. Basically because the game, as far as I'm concerned, offers you a lot of content, but unfortunately it repeats the same content a little bit too often for my liking. As I said earlier, I would have enjoyed it way more if the game had less missions, but those missions change up dramatically as time goes. I'm not sure if the puzzles we have here are handcrafted or if they're just randomly generated each time, but I can understand the price tag from a creative standpoint, meaning that I'm pretty sure most of these things are handcrafted, which means someone had to think really hard about how to do those things. So yeah, that basically leaves this video with an open end. I mean, personally I wouldn't buy it, but if this is the type of game you like, then I'm sure it's a good game. It does offer you a lot of variety for your money, as in, no, not variety, a lot of content for your money, let's put it that way. And if that's the type you want to play, Hey, why not? This is a pretty good pick. It is well made, the graphics are neat. I mean, I haven't talked about them at all because at the end of the day it's a puzzle game. That is not your main objective. So you're getting a mixed buy it from me, I think? Yeah, you'll have to figure that out for yourself. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I will see you next time. Take care.